On this episode, we're going all Bear Grylls. Don't worry though, we're not going to try and survive in the mountains. Instead, I'm talking about how to look after yourselves when you're skiing and snowboarding, because although the sports themselves aren't intrinsically dangerous, the environment is. You're up at the high alpine altitude, so freezing temperatures, a vast area, and the weather can change very quickly. And if you're not prepared, then things can go wrong very, very fast. So, first and foremost, the most important thing, stay warm. It's very easy when you're in a chalet or an apartment to think that it's lovely and warm and dressed down. And then once you get up to 3,000 meters at some of the higher resorts, then you start really clamming up. So always start your day layered up. Plenty of layers. More thin layers work more effectively than fewer fat layers. But if you layer up, then you can always take them off and pack down. But for everyone, especially kids, it's much harder to do that vice versa. If you start the day cold, then it's much harder to warm up. After that, visibility is key. Whether you prefer sunglasses or goggles, make sure you've got a brighter lens. So that's a yellow, or in this case, an amber lens that brightens things up and gives you the opportunity to see if the weather does close in. If you're heading off piste, make sure you've either got training or a guide. It's not enough just to have the equipment. You either need to know how to use it or have someone who can take all of that responsibility like a guide for you. These days, there's a brilliant course run by PISTE, the International Snow Training Academy. It's a bit like PADI for diving. It's an internationally recognised qualification. You've got levels 1 through to 5, and they run courses throughout the winter. All of the details in the text below. Things that you need to have before you go out. This number, 112, that's a pan-European emergency number that'll put you through to the local emergency services. It was implemented 2 years ago, and that is a great, easy number to have in your phone. But don't just stop there. Make sure that you've got the local mountain rescue, the number of your accommodation and your insurance all handy. Might even pay to have the paperwork for the other two. If you're up on the mountain in a big group or you've got lots of kids, then there's plenty of protocols that you need to put in place at the start of the day. Put a meeting point in one of those big lifts that everyone can find, one of the draining point that all of the pistes lead to. When you're on an individual lift with the kids, point out physically which lift you're going to the bottom of so that they've got a visual reference of where you're heading to. And I like to run a lead guide and tail guide program where you've got an adult at the front and the back, and the kids know who's at the front and they know that they're not allowed to overtake them. If you're not super WhatsApp savvy, then in the text I'll show you how to set up a group on WhatsApp, and critically how to use that share my location function, which can help you, especially with kids. If you need to, and kids are young, just in case, either write on the back of their hand or give them a piece of paper in their pocket with all of the mobile numbers that people can call if they find lost kids. Outside of that, I'm sure there's loads of other things you can look at. I've put plenty of details actually, because this is very This is very, very idiosyncratic to each country. When you get a whiteout, there are different kinds of poles on the side of the piece to show you where exactly you are. In France, it's a little orange tip on the right-hand side, so you stay to the left. Some of them are numbered, but all of the details, again, in the text. And if you have any other tips that you think you can share, you know the deal. Share them in the comments. Cheers.